Okay, Para.
Hello and welcome to Sacred Pause with your host, myself, Kelsey Keil. This is the podcast for anyone looking for a break, a quiet moment to just be, without any other obligations other than to get grounded, get in your heart, get out of your head, and to be still in whatever it is you're struggling with and desperately wanting to heal. Oftentimes, all we need in order to feel at peace is a sacred pause. Do you want more peace and stillness in your life? How about a knowing that you can handle anything life hands you, anything at all? If you answered yes to either of these questions, I made this episode just for you. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, good evening. Obviously, I have no idea when you're listening to this, but thank you for listening wherever you are and whatever time it is for you. So today I want to talk about my favorite topic, self-love. Last week's episode was called Life is the Arena and Awareness is the Game. And if you haven't listened to that episode yet, I highly recommend you go back and do that. But today I want to add to that. So, life is the arena, awareness is the game, and self-love is the key. I wholeheartedly believe, I know, the moment someone truly starts to love themselves is when life starts getting amazing. That's the moment you take your life back. That's the moment you find your confidence. Find your confidence that you lost somewhere in the past. That's when you start doing what you want. You put yourself first because you know that when your cup is full, you'll have so much more to give others and so much more to give the world. I feel like a lot of people see self-love and self-care as getting facials or getting your nails or hair done. And while I believe those fall under this category, those are more like bonus self-love activities. I love the feeling after I get a haircut and then dried and styled, and I do that for me, to look good and feel good because it does exactly that. It makes me feel good, feel put together, just a simple self-care activity to do whenever I need, once every whatever months. But the deeper self-love work is all internal, and it's a feeling. It's a knowing. It's a feeling of peace and stillness, a knowing that you got you, no matter what, and a knowing that you can handle anything life hands you, anything at all. It's true self-confidence, real confidence. Now that's self-love. And once you have that feeling, once you get a taste of that feeling of self-love, you'll do whatever it takes to keep that and grow that. And even cooler is once you begin prioritizing you and prioritizing self-love, everything else, and I mean everything else, falls right into place. You'll begin having thoughts you've never really had before. Positive, uplifting thoughts that make your days so much brighter and so much lighter and more free. You'll begin eating healthier because you know that is what will serve you the best. You'll begin to prioritize your sleep and prioritize your time. And time is so huge. We all have the same amount of time. Obviously. I saw this meme once that said, you have the same 24 hours as Oprah. It's all about how you spend your time. So what are you going to do with your time? We all have the exact same amount of time in our days, all of us. It's the one thing that we all share and have the exact same amount of. And time to me is everything. And when I fully understood that, that's when I really started to reconsider where I was spending my time. I started to scroll mindlessly on Instagram way less and instead put out more uplifting, positive content of my own out on my Instagram because that is what will serve and build my mission. That's when I started to let go of past relationships because when I hung out with these people, I was left feeling crappy and empty. And then started to have a strong urge to find people who value the same things as me and make me feel stronger and happier, not weaker and more sad. And most important for me and for my life thus far is the moment I found and reclaimed a love for myself that I lost somewhere in the past. That's when I knew that I could no longer let OCD and anxiety patterns that I developed and sustained up until recently control me and control my life. I knew that if I continued with those old patterns, I would stay my old, scared, and fragile self. And there's no way I would be able to get to where I want to be with them still attached to me. If I kept those old patterns that are only feeding the beast, I would never be who I want to be for myself. I would never be who I want to be for Paige. I would never be who I want to be for my friends and for my family. And I would never be who I need to be in order to achieve the goals I want to achieve in this lifetime, which is to show people that self-love is the answer, that being your true, authentic self is the way to the amazing life we all deserve. The moment you start being you, that's when your real life will begin. I have personally only been half myself, if that, most of my life. And I think it's similar for most people. As a baby, we're all pretty much the same. Being a baby, just being a baby, really no other choice. And as we become toddlers, same thing. We're just wild and want what we want when we want it and aren't really aware of much else. And then as we get a little older, 5, 6, 7, we're all still pretty free and unattached. But once we hit 10, 11, 12, as we're doing our thing like we usually do, just being ourselves, being present, having fun, something happens. Someone says something to you and it's no longer safe to be you, to be free. Thoughts like this, I can't be my true self or else something bad will happen. I can't be my true wild present self or else I'm going to get in trouble. Those are definitely thoughts I had. And then we begin to build our protective shell and start to become a little quieter than we used to be. And unfortunately, we keep that up until we become adults. And this pattern can and will continue unless you do something about it, unless you break the pattern. It's the only way out. And the beautiful part about all of this is that if you aren't happy, if you aren't satisfied with your life, if you want more for you, for your family, for your kids, you can break that pattern because it starts with you. And that's good news because that's all you have control over. Our lives aren't meant to be enjoyable all the time. Our lives, the reason we're all here, is to learn and to grow as much as possible so that the next generation, our future family and friends, will be better off and can grow from where we left off. If you want to know your purpose, well, that's it. To learn and to grow. And this work doesn't only affect you. It affects your kids, your ancestors, your future family, friends, the whole planet at large. It's such big work and it won't only change your life, but it will change your entire family line, ancestors from the past and future generations to come. It's the most important work one can do. I promise. So if you feel the calling even a little bit, you are an anomaly and you owe it to yourself to listen. And you're hearing the calling because you're ready. You're so ready. So don't be scared. Be excited or be scared, but do it anyway. Use your fears in a positive way. Face everything and rise. And how you do that? You do activities, you do practices that will connect you more and more. Practices that will get you closer and closer to self. Do activities that will build a stronger relationship with yourself, with your heart, with your soul, and with your spirit. The most important relationship we all have is the relationship with ourselves. Yet we are giving all of ourselves to others, to family, to friends. And that is so amazing of us, but it's backwards. Once we start giving that back to ourselves, then we'll have even more to give to others, even more to give to our family, to our friends. It's a win-win situation, my favorite kind of situation. You just have to do a little bit of untraining because that's definitely not something I learned growing up. And I would bet your childhood was similar. A few simple self-love practices that I do every day is closing your eyes, putting a hand on your heart, sitting or laying in a comfortable, relaxed position, and imagining a white light going into the top of your head. Then gently breathe in through your nose with air filling your belly and quietly inside whisper, I love you. And then gently breathe out through your mouth with your belly going in and say thank you. Do that at least 10 times every day. Another is a moment-by-moment practice to retrain your mind, retrain your thoughts to become true and positive. So when your mind tells you something negative, something that simply isn't true, for example, I'm stupid, right after, as soon as you catch it, say the opposite, say the truth. Say, I'm smart. And do that with every single negative thought you have until it's no longer a reoccurring thought. And before you know it, your mind will be flooded with positive, beautiful thoughts that will brighten up your days instead of negative, awful thoughts that make your days long and dreadful. Both of these practices aren't the easiest initially, and I believe that's because we don't truly believe the loving things we're telling ourselves at first. But if you stick with it, you will inevitably start to believe them because they're the truth. They are the truth. And when you will start to feel it, and then you'll start to feel it, it feels absolutely incredible. So just keep it up. And incredible is how you deserve to feel. I promise you, self-love, true self-love, self-connection, self-trust is the key to the door to the rest of your life. The key to the door to the life you've always dreamed of. So please, for yourself, try out these simple self-love practices. Start your day with the self-love breathing exercise. It could take literally 30 seconds or it can take 30 minutes. Totally up to you. Just be all in. And throughout your day, gently correct your negative thoughts. Let me know how it goes, but definitely just make sure to be gentle. I would love to hear from you. Email me, DM me on Instagram at Kelsey W. Keil. Leave me a review. I would love to hear from you, and I'll put all these in my show notes. I'm also offering one-on-one work, one-on-one sacred pause self-love sessions. So if you're serious about making a change in your life, truly making a change, and are feeling called, please listen to that calling and contact me. If you're interested, please email me. Again, I'll put my email in the show notes. And in the subject line, just put Sacred Pause One-on-One. And first session is completely free of charge. So absolutely nothing to lose, just a bunch to gain. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you next week. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I appreciate and love you so much. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do that now and push that subscribe button. That way you'll never miss an episode. If you're enjoying Sacred Pause, please leave me a rating and review. I would absolutely love to hear from you, and it helps me out so much. If you think this episode could help a friend or family member even a little bit, please share this with them. I truly need all the help I can get spreading my message of self-love, trust, and healing. And if you're interested in doing a Sacred Pause one-on-one with me, email me at kelseywkeil@gmail.com with the subject line saying Sacred Pause one-on-one. And lastly, if you want more of my content before my next episode, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Kelsey W. Keil for daily love and inspiration. Love and appreciate you all so much, and I'll talk to you next week.